A trip by plane is not only more attractively priced, but also people keep just wanting to travel further and further away. Therefore, it's now more and more common to travel by plane. But there are definitely certain things that airlines don't announce so obviously, but rather they keep them hidden. Here are 5 things that airlines keep hidden from us. Let's go. Number 5. Landing. Although it's common practice in many places to clap after a soft landing, a bumpy landing is not necessarily bad either. While we passengers often assume that a hard landing is due to difficult weather conditions or the inability of the pilot, sometimes there are other reasons. Like on wet roads, for example, it's advisable to land the tires on the ground abruptly because it's best to get them onto the surface of asphalt as fast as possible so that they don't start to slip. So the pilot reduces the speed of the plane while it's descending and saves the braking distance. So next time, stay calm and enjoy the bumpy landing. Going on to number 4, HR. What is behind the abbreviation HR? It's been said that it's a cargo hold, which on almost every flight passengers will never get to see. Because in addition to the usual cargo consisting of suitcases, bags, pets, there's also sometimes dead people. You heard me right. Because if a person dies in a place that isn't their home, they have to be transferred with their coffin to their home country. Here, traveling by air is usually chosen because it's the fastest and most comfortable option for getting a dead body from point A to point B. Fortunately, coffins are funneled away after landing and not circling around the baggage carousel. Number 3. Seat size. It's not only food, electronics, or cosmetics where we feel like we're getting less for our money. The same is happening on the plane. But is this the same as it always was, or have proportions of the planes actually changed? It's true, because the seats are now almost 2.5 centimeters smaller. Not only that, but the space for your legs has also shrunk, and is even being designed smaller and smaller. The advantage here is pretty clear, because it means more people will fit onto the plane for the airline. Cheap airlines are even considering the launch of certain quote-unquote standing flights. But if this is actually a trend on the loom, maybe we're better off not knowing. So while most people must squeeze into their seats, there are also smaller people who have to pay extra for a normal size seat. Well, for now, let's just hope that the seats stay as they are and don't get any smaller. Otherwise, we may have to start paying for additional seats soon. Going to number 2, overbooking. It seems almost arbitrary since some flights are booked to the last seat while others are almost empty. But lately, some situations have been making headlines. Sometimes there may be more passengers booked on a flight than will ultimately fit on the plane. But why is this done? And how can you resist it like this one passenger did? Well, since airlines have now collected a huge amount of records, they can calculate approximately how many passengers might not appear for the flight due to illness or lateness. So they book at least that many more passengers. In the worst case, then someone finds themselves on a full plane with a valid ticket but with no seat. In such cases, the airline usually offers to pay or at least cover the cost of extending the person's stay at a hotel. In the best case, someone could enjoy an extra day of vacation. In other cases, the airline will pay for the new flight and the passengers has to wait at the terminal for a short while, depending on the flight plans, of course. If it's essentially important for you to take a flight at a certain time, it's advisable to have a written confirmation with the ticket price. Additionally, it's always good to be there early because those who are seated first onto the plane won't be brought off so quickly. And finally, number 1. Anyone who's ever flown knows the safety instructions. After several directions toward the escape routes, breathing masks, and life jackets, they usually appeal to passengers to turn off all their cell phones, or at least put them onto flight mode. But the reason for this is never made known to us. Therefore, for decades now, the assumption has been that the actions of one individual could put the whole flight at risk. If a mobile device was such a risk, it would certainly not be allowed on board, since even nail files are stopped at security checkpoints. Rather, it's just a precaution to turn off devices which might interfere in some way with communication from the cockpit to the observation tower. No engine is going to blow up from a cell phone, so when it comes to this, you can just relax. Well, I hope these tips have been illuminating for you all, and you can keep them in mind next time you book a flight. That's all we've got for today, but if you liked it, subscribe or check out another video. Until next time, safe travels.